Nigeria faces a staggering infrastructure challenge, with the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria estimating that abandoned projects across the country have cost a colossal 17 trillion naira over the past decade. As the Tinubu administration enters its third year, questions linger about its approach to project management, the prioritization of critical infrastructure, and efforts to address this graveyard of uncompleted projects. Today on The Conversation, focus is on project management under the President's leadership. We'll look at the successes, challenges, and of course, the way forward. Our guest to talk about this is an expert in project management, Mr. Henry Mbadiwe. He is the Registered Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Well, let's dive right in. The Nigerian economy is said to have lost an estimated 17 trillion naira to abandoned or mismanaged products across the country in the span of 10 years. Can you confirm that for us?
Well, yes, this is true. This is one of the reports that we published, I believe last year. And I think moving forward from that, I gave a press conference yesterday. I was making this clear that there's a World Bank report that said that Nigeria has lost 4 billion in corrective works on projects. So that's $4 billion, you know. So the idea here is you have projects that have been delivered, they have to spend some more money to correct the problems and the issues that has come out of that project. That is costing the country billions of dollars every year. So I think there's a very serious issue that needs to be looked at, you know, in the way we manage projects and the way we deliver projects in this country.
Well, talking about that from your expertise still, what are the primary factors contributing to this crisis of abandoned projects, and how would you assess the President's effort in the last 2 years to address these underlying issues? Thank you.
So this is what the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria was created to do. Projects don't deliver themselves. Human beings deliver projects. One of the main reasons that causes project failure is poor planning. As simple as it might sound, this is one of the reasons why projects fail all over the world, not just in Nigeria. Now, that you start a project in January and you finish in June doesn't mean that that project was successful, all right? Because there are a lot of projects that you started and finished, but the amount of money you have spent on that project has exceeded what you planned to do. Human beings deliver projects, and you must increase the human capital. This is the reason why this institute exists, to regulate the individuals that deliver projects in Nigeria. The Establishment Act of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria has established that we must ensure that you do not deliver projects in Nigeria if you are not licensed to do so. The project management profession is not for anybody to come and do it the way they want. Projects must be managed with proper methodology and to ensure that you use the right frameworks and use the right planning structures that will bring value for money for what you're doing. Human beings deliver projects. Increase human capital and you will see development happening all across the nation.
Well, just like you said, you talked about planning and management. As the body instituted by law to address these issues of certification and checking for crackery, what are you doing to check the practice? All right.
So the CIPMN, we've been doing a lot of sensitization, letting people know that this law exists, okay? The law is very, very clear. You cannot be employed in any sort of project management profession. You cannot lead projects, you cannot manage projects, you cannot teach project management unless you are licensed to do so. We must begin to harmonize the idea of what project means in Nigeria. Project management is not just about constructions or maybe oil and gas or, you know, civil engineering. No, you have projects in every area of the economy. Projects are agnostic of every sector. You have projects in humanitarian sector, you have projects in healthcare sector, and we must ensure that anyone leading these projects, managing these projects, must be licensed to do so. The way you would license a medical doctor in Nigeria before they can practice, the way you will license a lawyer in Nigeria before you can practice, this law has now ensured that you must also license a project manager in Nigeria before they can practice. So it doesn't matter what certification you have. If you have a certification from PMI, the Project Management Institute, or have a certification from overseas, the law says that you must bring that certification and regularize it to get a license from CIPMN before you can practice. So we are letting everyone know that this is the law, and it is important because it is for the benefit of this nation. And as time goes on, we'll begin to enforce on the institutions and on the individuals who deliver projects, who manage projects without the proper skill set, without the proper licensing to do so. This is why you find failed projects, and this is why you find that nobody is held accountable for these projects when they go wrong.
You just talked about license, and I'm wondering, is building collapse part of your purview?
So what we do is, let's say, I'll give a very simple example. Now, if there is a building that collapses, for example, under the normal circumstance, or the circumstance that we're looking to get to, we would understand who was the project manager on that project. Okay. Because the experts, all right, who is leading this project needs to have that skill set to ensure that projects are managed effectively. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to understand who was leading on this project. You have to have one project manager on a project, and that person cannot be invisible. You can't, so we will keep a record of project managers in Nigeria, licensed project managers in Nigeria, the projects that they've worked on. And when something goes wrong, we know who to point it to. Yes, I understand that sometimes the clients would want you to bend the rules. You know, you're working on something, and because there's no money, they want you to adjust this and adjust that. As a professional, you must refuse. And if you do not refuse and something goes wrong, that project manager will be held accountable. CIPMN will have the license to withdraw that person's, would have the right to withdraw that license to practice, and also to prosecute that person. All right. And if somebody who doesn't have a license works on a project, and we go to that site and we ask, who is the project manager on this place? And somebody comes up and says, it's me. And we ask, are you a licensed project manager? And the answer is no. Then the law says that person commits an offense. So we need to be able to prosecute that person, not just that the institution that has given that person the liberty to deliver that project on their behalf. So you're going to be seeing accountability. We're going to be holding people responsible. And these individuals, because they are project managers and because they know that they'll be held responsible, they will do the right thing. And if they are being forced to do the wrong thing, they will say no to that. Because it will be them on the chopping block.
Very true. Now let's talk about what project management entails and its impact on the economy, particularly when practitioners get it right.
So any country, any institution that is serious about implementing any sort of strategy would eventually have to break them down into projects. It's as simple as that. You know, no matter what strategy you have, if you don't break it down into executable projects, you've not even started. All right. Now, these projects being led by individuals who are licensed, who are experienced, you would see that this country will begin to move. Every country you've admired, every country you've ever looked at has focused on projects and on project delivery and getting the right skill set to deliver these projects. We need to get to the point in Nigeria where human capital development is our focus. We must train, we must ensure that the individuals leading all of these initiatives, I can call them projects, I can call them initiatives, because anything that has a beginning and has an end is a project, all right? So these new initiatives, you must be skilled to do that. You must understand how to plan. You must understand how to manage risks. You must understand how to deal with changes. You must understand how to deal with the stakeholders involved. I have seen projects delivered, money spent, and then the individuals who this project was meant to be delivered for show up and go, no, this is not what we want. This is not what we need. Nobody spoke to us before doing this. And you have all of this money wasted. Monies that would have gone into different parts of the economy that have given value, you know, to the citizenry of this country, and that money is being wasted because the requirements were all wrong from the beginning. The individuals delivering it were all doing it wrong from the beginning, and then you find all these wastes everywhere, and you don't see a country developing by wasting. No.
Well, we are in the era of technology, so technology such as digital monitoring systems and project management software has been proposed to improve infrastructure project delivery. What specific tech solutions can enhance efficiency and transparency for projects in the country?
No, there are a lot. See, the use of technology is fine. There are a lot of technological software out there that can help you do anything you want to do on every kind of project. My focus has never really been on the tools. That's never really been my focus. My focus has been on the people. And that is what is important. When you're looking at planning software, you're looking at using technology, to deal with designs, technology to create models that could help you understand how things work before you actually bring it to life. Those technologies are all over the place. There are numerous ones. No point focusing on any of them. The focus here is on the individuals and their understanding of what they must know and of what they must do. Technology is an enabler. It should help you do things faster, easier, help you create a lot of models that will see where the problems are before you. So you have to, you have to make sure that technology is something that you imbibe and that you use. But let's not get this wrong. A beautiful, well-designed car can be crashed in the hands of an unexperienced person. It is not about the technology. It is not about the tools. It's about the skill set, the mindset of the individual who is managing this project and who is determined to use the right methodologies. When I talk about methodologies, there's a different methodology to delivering a construction project. It's a different methodology to delivering an IT project. It's a different methodology that you can use to deliver a humanitarian project. The idea is to understand the concepts of project management and the way it should be done. So when you find yourself in a technology project, you know what to do. Find yourself in a construction project, you know what methodology to apply or how to combine them to give the best output. My focus and the focus of the Institute has always been on the individual and the skill set of that individual. That is why we're saying if you're someone who delivers a new initiative in Nigeria, you are managing a project, you are a foreigner living in Nigeria, delivering a project, you are a Nigerian delivering a project, managing any new initiative, you need to regularize whatever certification you have with CIPMN license and gain your license to practice and put yourself under the law that ensures that you are monitored to do the right thing all the time. It is the law and you have to obey it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henry Mbadiwe, the Registered Chartered Institute of Project Management of Nigeria. You stressed the need for Nigerians to have the skill sets. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.